I can't believe I'm releasing this today, but today I'm revealing the exact step-by-step process you need to make 10K a month as an online coach, even if you're working a 9 to 5. Just for context, over the past year, I've generated over millions of views and also been studying hundreds of coaches. And the ones who all succeed follow the exact same system. And it's not about putting in more content or that you're lazy. It's about three things: having a system, and then sales and marketing. And today we're going to be breaking down all three elements, and I hope you enjoy the video. So as promised, here's how to speedrun 10K a month as an online coach while working a 9 to 5. And for a lot of these examples, I will be using the example of a fitness coach, but you can just apply it to any niche that you're working in. So I'll be breaking this down into three things: systems, sales, and marketing. Right? And the first thing I'm going to be going through is systems, because I believe if you don't have the right system, you won't be able to do the sales and marketing. So even if I tell you everything about it, you won't be able to apply it to yourself. So let's briefly talk through this. So what is a system? The first thing I need you guys to do is literally get Google Calendar, right? You need to literally run your life on Google Calendar. So if you have a dinner with friends, just write it all down on the Google Calendar. You want to kind of structure and systemize everything in your life, so then you can also track what you've been doing. So I would say, for example, in my case, I go a bit extreme, but you can see that every single hour of my day is structured. So for example, even if I go to the gym or have lunch, I will write it down because I think it's very important to be able to see that. And for example, if I'm filming an Instagram, I will know when it hits 2:30 that I need to do that. And this just gives me a kind of visualization of what I need to do. As again, like, entrepreneurship is not easy, but if you structure it correctly, it won't even feel like you're kind of working all the time. For example, if it just hits 10 and I'm like, oh, I need to script a reel. If it's my routine to just script a reel, it's not a lot of effort for me, and we're trying to decrease that effort. And so you have to get Google Calendar. That's the first thing I would say. And one other thing is also, if you don't end up, for example, doing the task, you can always just delay it or just move on to the next task, but just note it down. And the other things I would say is systemize other things. So I would get things like Notion, which I use for content planning, or ChatGPT, anything in your life to make everything easier. That would completely prioritize this, because this allows you to kind of deliver the tasks that you need to do. And so let's get into the actual meat of the video, which is sales and marketing. So if you're doing coaching, the two things you mainly need to focus on is sales and marketing. You also need to work on the offer. That's the third thing. But I think at the start, especially, sales and marketing is the most important. So you need to be able to sell the product. And the second thing is you need to be able to have an audience that is aware of your product. And if you combine those together, you get a sale. And sales is split into outreach, so appointment setting, follow-ups, and also closing. So let's go through each of them. What is outreach? I'm sure you have already done this yourself. Outreach is just reaching out to people, whether it be people you know or people you don't know, which are random strangers. And so there is a structure to be followed when you're having these conversations. And a lot of coaches tell me, oh, people aren't replying. And this is because they're not following the right framework. So I would say, in general, I can't cover every framework, but in general, you firstly need to compliment them. So I would say, oh, love your content. How did you find Romania? Ask a genuine question. One thing I love doing is asking about countries, because I'm a huge travel person myself and I'm genuinely curious. It will kind of spark their curiosity, because they'll be like, oh, okay, I've been to Romania, and people love talking about themselves and the countries they've been to. And so another example is, oh, is tea actually bad for you? So asking a genuine question. So the key to outreach is, I would say, do not actually sell. You want to kind of be friends and build a relationship. And when they have a problem, you just happen to be the solution. That's the key. A lot of people try and sell and don't do that. And so the second part would be to build trust and give value, and then you position it into a call. And so I would say every day you need to do at least 60 minutes of it. This is the most important task. So you need to be doing a minimum of 25 outreach acts a day, whether it be talking to new people or following up on old people. But just do the minimum of that because that will be the thing that drives everything. So really focus on that. Even if you get nothing done in the day, do outreach. And the second part is call. And the call is split into pain point probing and presenting yourself as the solution. So call is obviously when the client actually happens to call with you on Google Meets and you have to try and convince them that this program is the right thing for them. And the thing is, you don't really have to convince them. If they have a problem and you're the solution, they're gonna buy it. And so in general, right, I can't get into the full details again because this is just a YouTube video, but I would say the first part is probing their pain. So what are they struggling with? Are they struggling with their diet or their exercise? And then you just present yourself as the solution in the second half. So you would say, oh, so you're struggling with diet. So what I do in my program is I help create a training plan for you. And if they're struggling to kind of like discipline themselves, you can be an accountability partner. So you want to frame your offer as a solution to all their problems. So that's why this first part is so important, finding out all their pain. And I would spend around half an hour to 1 hour a day. The reason I say this is because not every day you might get a call. But I think this part is easy because if you have a call, you literally have to take it. So it's not really like, I need to be doing this. Like if you have a call, you're going to take it. So this is the least mentally draining task. And with marketing, it's split into two things. So how do you do it in a way where people see your content and try to ask you for advice instead of you having to reach out to them? And this is more of the long-term game that you want to be transferring to. And I would say the main formats are Instagram Reels and TikTok because that gets the most reach. And there are basically two really basic things. And this is all you really need to do if you want to make content better. People complicate it. And, you know, my niche is in actually content because I actually started off as being a creator and then I kind of got into the business side of it. But I would say in general, you only need to basically be doing two things. One is literally posting consistently. And then two is every time you make it better. So you're iterating. And if you do those things, you realistically should improve. And the more videos you make, I would say volume is more important than quality. So the more videos you make, the more you'll be able to be like, this doesn't work, this works. And then you can double down on stuff that works. So the hard part I would say is iterating, making it better, because a lot of coaches ask me, oh, I'm posting so many, but you know, why is it not doing well? Or why am I getting so many views, but there are no clients, right? And that's just about the more intricate part, and that's more systems part. But for example, with making it better, I would say it's split into virality and conversion and systems. So virality and conversion is how much reach does it get and how much reach converts into your actual clients. So as you can see in this video, I got 1 million views and 3 seconds in, 73.7% of people were still watching. And so you analyze these statistics and you will know, for example, that this reel, you know, this start works. So then I can double down on that. And you really need to just analyze and iterate the reels. Because if you keep posting, but they don't get better, then what's the point of consistently posting? And so you also need to master systems, which is very technical that I can go into in another video. Comment down below if you want. But it's to have a mix of top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel content. In short, top of funnel is things that get reach. So for example, memes. Middle of funnel is educating stuff. So if you're a fitness coach, like how to bench. And then bottom of funnel would be client testimonies. And I would say you want to aim for at least one reel a day or one post a day, and that should take 60 minutes. So if you look overall, we're actually not spending too much time. We're spending basically two 60-minute blocks, so 2 hours plus 30 minutes. And so how would this look realistically on a calendar? Again, entrepreneurship is never easy, so I'm not saying this is easy, but if you systemize it, it should be easy. So I would say start with the highest priority task first, so outreach. And then I would assume 8:30 to 5:30 because I'm going to assume you have to get to your work. and then you post an Instagram video after your work, and then I'm giving you an hour and a half to relax, and then you can finish the rest of the outreach, which is the most important bit. So if you haven't finished the 25, and do the follow-ups, and then you go into the call if you have any, and then you relax, right? So that's pretty much the basic structure of a calendar. And so if you break down the statistics, if you get 1 to 2 calls a day and you stay consistent with 1 post a day with 25 DMs, and you charge around 300 to 500, which is what I recommend, by the way, you should be able to get 10K a month in 1 to 2 months. And that's pretty much it. It's all about consistency and having the right system. And so I just hope you found that information valuable. Obviously, there are a lot of details to each process which I can't break down in a simple YouTube video, but that is the basic framework. And if you work hard at it and you work on it every day, you should be able to achieve the results that you want to. Your mind is the limit. And so just a quick plug, if you want to work with me one-on-one, I will help you with every single part of that process. So just to quickly plug in my one-on-one coaching, I will be basically guiding you through a system where you will be able to get clients. So I work with you for 120 days, and I will be doing weekly one-on-one calls with you, giving you support in WhatsApp 24/7, giving you content planning and helping you with sales, everything we just talked about in the video. And I will give you all these documents on the left-hand side. I will personally go through them with you. So we'll cover mindset and systems much more in detail than we did in this video. We'll be looking at your content, seeing what works, what doesn't work, really picking your specific niche, and we'll be working on your offer. And then, I'll be diving really specifically into the outreach and how to do it and how to close your first few clients. And then we'll be giving you some resources, so content planners, hook library, lead magnet, winning video formats. All of it will be for yours to keep after the 120 days, so don't worry. So yeah, we'll basically operate so you can go from zero to kind of hero, I guess. But yeah, back to the video. I hope you found this super valuable, and just enjoy. And this is a journey, and you should just be enjoying the journey, and you will be successful if you just keep at it. So I'll see you in the next one.